Hello.
Hi, it's on
I'm
record
just
again.
signing. Yep. Okay, I'm
I
back.
hit record as soon as I did it. It went, I actually got on earlier, so that's why we were a bit short.
Okay,
Yeah.
yep.
So, but just to make sure I had it all set up right, because I've never actually done a Zoom from my end. I've done Zooms from
Oh,
people, but I've never,
okay.
hello, husband in the background, he went past. Your husband
Yep.
went past in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, so I've never actually done it, but yeah, so it's easy. It's
Yeah.
easy to do. Okay,
I
so
can't figure out how to reconnect to my iPhone.
can you turn the sound off on it?
Oh, I don't know. I've
I've
tried.
tried. I'll mute it. I
Yeah,
should
okay.
be I should be able to mute it. Why is it not muting? Okay, it's
Okay, that's
muted.
it.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out how to turn the thing back on again.
I can unmute I can yeah, well anyway.
Get my
So
screen back on. Anyway, yep.
you'll work it out.
Um,
So where was
yeah,
I? We did the accidents. How much
I might actually just
experimentation? You do a
still
lot of
hear.
experimentation, don't you?
Yeah.
Because you've got to do
I'm
that.
just going to turn that off because it's driving me nuts. I can hear it.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I think it's coming out of. I don't know.
Okay. That better?
I've got that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all right. I think it. I think my earbuds had connected to my phone instead of the computer, and so I was just hearing
Oh,
everything
and
twice.
I hate that. I
It's
really do.
terrible.
I was talking to my friend this morning at
Yeah.
Middlemount and she had her earphones on and I put mine in, but her earphones weren't working properly and headache. So
Oh, yeah.
uh I asked you about your printmaking as your primary medium and your techniques. We've talked about those. Um, so do you, yeah, there we are. How important is it for you to do drawing and photography, research before beginning a new body of work? So do you do a lot of drawing, field, like I know you get out into
Yeah.
the landscape around the house or you might have gone for a visit
Yeah.
out to the west and that helps you. But do you do any drawing or do you do any photography?
I I don't do a huge amount of drawing. If I've got a specific piece that I need to draw up, yes, I will do that. But I probably do more photographic field notes. And a lot of the time, I'll then take those photographs that I've taken and convert them in design software to make them more like something that I can actually carve from lino, for
So
instance,
you pull
or
that
do
from
mock-ups of how I think it from a phone to my laptop. Yeah.
yeah, so you pull that from
And
your
so,
experience as a graphic designer. So
yes, yes. So
you train anyway.
everything that I do as an artist is certainly influenced by what I've done as a
Yeah,
designer, um,
and that shows,
through
yeah.
technical skill, but also as a designer eye. Um, So it certainly has been an advantage, but sometimes it's also a curse because you try to make sure everything's a perfect design and then you
So do you
get a
keep
bit waylaid.
sketchbooks that
But I guess
do you keep your sketchbooks and visual journals as well? You don't have your
not
photos
really.
in visual
No,
journals,
not really.
but
No,
I
no,
think yeah.
I've just
So
got about 40,000 photos on my phone.
that makes sense,
All
especially if
backed up
you're
though. So
outside.
yeah,
I can see that. So, um, what's
yes.
been the biggest challenge in
And
developing your studio practice? What would be the biggest challenge in developing a studio
oh,
practice?
so it would for the last 20 years. It's time, because I was raising a family, running my design business, and running a household. So time was always the biggest thing. But now that I'm an empty nester, and I've wound down my design business last year, so now I've got more time to have a studio practice. And I've been kind of running a bit quickly to get into it the last year because we had a lot of family illness with a number of different people last year. So
Hmm.
that took basically the whole year out between closing my business down, starting uni, and caring for unwell people or driving them or doing jobs for them or sorting paperwork out for them or whatever through all this illness. So I was a bit trying to catch my tail the whole time last year, but this year I've certainly spent more time in the studio than not, and because we've had this exhibition out at Miles, so it's been really good this year to finally actually have time to get into the studio.
Do
So
you find that that
now my
change?
focus is
So your change, do you find all of this change that has been going on in your life so that you've got more studio time, has that affected the way that you're um, working? Like, have you changed some of the techniques you use because you've got more time now?
um, yes, probably doing adding the textile work because I've got
Hmm.
more time
Yeah.
because it is extremely time consuming. So by the time this is finished, which isn't a huge piece, by the time you wrap it around the board, it will probably be 100 hours worth of
Mm.
stitching and foraging and scouring the fabric, and when you include the carving time and stuff like that. So it's a massive project, but just the hand stitching alone in that
So you've brought that
will
into your
be
practice because
at
you've
least
changed.
50 hours. But
Yeah.
I do have more time now,
Yeah.
and I'm not absolutely zonked out at night time. I've got more energy because I am not trying to be everything to everybody anymore.
And that
So
makes a
yeah.
difference in your
So
practice
yes,
then, don't you? Okay.
it does. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Time is always really important.
what advice would you give an emerging artist about developing a suitable studio practice?
Oh,
Because when
okay.
I look at when I listen to
I'm
you,
probably
so
right.
when I listen to
Mm,
you and um, I see you as an artist from the time you were 16. You have always been an artist, right? Even though you say I didn't go to
yeah,
art
but
school,
just
wherever.
never
But
practicing
you haven't never
my own
fully, but you've
artwork.
always had
Yeah.
that ability to be creative in
Yeah.
some way and form. Like you were doing
Yes.
stitching when
Yes.
you were in Tasmania. So you've always brought things into your life. Um, and so
Yeah.
when we're talking about
I guess
giving
it's fine.
advice.
Just not thinking that everything has to be perfect. Like, don't ever think, oh, I need to have dedicated studio. It's you find, and like I've never had a studio until now.
Hmm.
So you find that corner on the kitchen table and the corner of the dining room where you can set your press up. You might need to have to put it away every day, but you can do it, and you can
Hmm.
sit down for half an hour a day to sit down and keep carving and keep carving and keep carving, and it
Yep.
might take
Yep.
many days, many weeks to get through something, but just finding those small moments in between going to uni or going to work or running your
Just
kids
keep on
around or
swimming,
whatever.
as you say.
So you actually have to make, yeah, you just have to make the time. And often I'm not a particularly good time manager when you are doing all the things. And so I would often be getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do it or working through till 2:30 in the morning, like I was doing on the recent textile works that I've got out at Miles at the moment, because I just
Do you
grossly
find
underestimated how long it was
having a
going to
home
take me.
studio
So,
better than it would be an external studio? Would you rather an external studio so that you're actually going to work?
oh no, because I quite like having my home studio because often I will go and hang the washing or go and do some procrastination jobs, but my brain's ticking over, but it means that I can just go and do those and then come straight back to the studio
Yep.
afterwards. So
Yep.
I quite
So
like
just
having that. that little physical break
Yeah.
to go and do something else and then be able to walk back into it. So yeah.
Yeah. So you find
I
it
think if I
much.
tried to force it and by saying, okay, I've got to justify this rent, I'm going to sit here all day, every day for 5 days a week, I don't think I could do it. I Because my brain doesn't work 9 to 5 every day.
I
It
think but
works at
most
three
artists'
o'clock in the
brains
morning.
don't work like that. Our
Yeah.
brains really don't work like that. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
I have the same
Yeah.
problem, but
Yeah.
anyway. Um,
Mm.
so where was
But
I?
yeah, so, but and I could be just out walking and I'll have to stop and take photographs of the rock or that flower or that bit of bark so I'm
Yeah,
always in the studio. It's
yeah.
just that my
The
studio
studio
is
is
not
your
these
life.
four
Yeah,
walls.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So a question: if someone walked into your studio today, what would it tell them about you as an artist,
Oh,
besides
well,
outside?
today we'd probably say, oh, she's pretty organized and neat and tidy, but other times you might walk in here and go, oh my God, it's chaos. So
She's
it just
very
depends on
creative
what stage
today. Yep, yep, I get it. So,
what stage of work I'm at. And often it spreads out and takes over the whole house. So yeah,
and that's usually the way, isn't it? It's
yeah,
that when we're working from home, it can take over the whole house.
yeah.
So I haven't got any more written down.
Okay.
But
Well,
you've
I'll take you
answered
on
a
a
lot.
little,
Oh, you've answered a lot of my
yeah, I'll
questions
take
without
you on a
asking
little
me.
tour. Yeah. I didn't answer specific questions. I just talked, but
No, but
I'm
that's,
just going to take you
I'll just
outside.
go through it.
So here is a lot of my eco printing
Oh, okay.
gear,
So this is where you do your
which
eco
I haven't put
printing.
away. Yeah, I haven't put it away. So I've got this kind of big outdoor area
Oh,
and
cool.
then garden, like a rainwater tank over there so that I've got easy access to water, although it would be really nice to have a tub to be able
Yeah.
to do it. And this little treasure here, we've only been here for 3 years, so this hasn't been done yet. I don't know if can you see that? It's
Yeah, I can.
like a
Yeah,
little
I can
wooden
see it.
shed. It's like a
Yep.
single garage. It's really old. It would have been built probably in the 50s or 60s, I'd say. Um,
Oh, it's got an
and
outward door. That's old.
one one day, yeah, one day this will be converted into a second studio. So I'll have a clean studio and a dirty studio, I think. So at the moment, it's just got a dirt floor and you can see sunlight under the floor,
Yeah. But the
but
building
I'll
itself
change that.
structurally is sound, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
Mm.
absolutely. So this big door will become glass windows and we'll raise it. We're in a flood area, so we'll raise it and put a floor under it and line it so that it's insulated because it gets really hot or really cold, just like Warwick.
Yep.
Um,
Dolby.
yeah, so um,
But it's good
yeah,
that
that'll
you've
be my
shown me
second
your out, you
studio.
actually, where you do have a studio outside, that's not just in nature,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's actually where you do your eco stuff. So,
Yeah, so when I if I had a full setup tomorrow, it would be this space, which will be my clean space. My other one out there will probably be where I do all my actual printmaking, but
mhm.
possibly also where I might, um, well, maybe not. Maybe that would be where I make plates and things like that that are dirty. So
Oh
making
yeah.
my mud plates and things because that
Yep.
gets really dirty. But also, I eventually want to add ceramics into my life, which I'll be doing our next module. But I've always wanted to get back to ceramics. I loved it
I
at
don't know why
school.
you got a thumbs up there. Did
Oh,
you see
have I
that?
got a thumbs up?
You got a thumbs up, but I didn't give you a thumbs up.
I saw a down before on the first
That
video.
that wasn't
So I don't
me.
know. I might have pressed something.
Oh, and
So
mine,
anyway,
yeah,
it's very
anyway.
strange.
So, yeah.
But
So,
yeah, so that'll be my dirty studio, but I'll also need an undercover area for doing all the eco printing and dyeing because it's quite pungent smells because you're boiling up eucalyptus leaves and you know what that's like. It's
oh
quite
yeah,
strong.
pretty
And
strong.
it's also the humidity and the dampness,
Mhm.
so that needs to stay outside.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah.
So when you're doing your artist books, um,
Yes.
to do the color in the paper, do you just boil up the leaves and then soak the paper into the water when it's colored, or how do you do that?
Oh, so if I'm dyeing paper, yes, what I'll do is boil. I'll go and collect my leaves and strip them all off all the branches. I can leave little twigs,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to strip it off the branches, and then I get the secateurs and chop it up because then that helps release the tannins a bit more as well. And that gets put into one of those big pots on a gas burner with water, bit of vinegar, and the iron water or alum water or um, copper water. So they're like I can make alum water using aluminium in
Yep.
vinegar,
Yep.
and you
So
put that into your
yep,
water
vinegar is
or
really important
copper.
to make those
Yeah,
things. So you've got to have
yeah, yeah.
vinegar in
So
it
or
to make that.
copper. Yeah, copper. This is a one that's gone a bit haywire. So that would have been, I don't know if you can see there, that's copper pipes.
Yeah.
And it sat on my bench for years and I hadn't actually done anything with it.
Do you know what
And
it
it sat
looks
on my
like?
bench for years with a bit of,
It looks like bluestone. You know, there's a thing called bluestone we
yeah.
use on the horses on their feet
Oh,
to
okay.
stop
Yeah, you can see it's gone like really crazy and
yeah.
grown. It's actually all of the corrosion. You know how copper goes blue
Yeah.
when it corrodes, and that was just the wire and the pipes and some vinegar, and that's what happened. And I can't even get the lid off it. Oh no, I can get the lid off, but I can't get it out. I could probably reignite it
I
by
wonder if that I wonder if that's how they make bluestone.
I don't
Because
know.
it stops seedy toe in horses. It's used to get proud flesh
Oh,
off animals.
oh.
It's yeah, it looks just like
Hmm.
it. So that's
I don't
interesting.
know. It's just copper corrosion. But I
I'll
could
look
probably
into
put
that.
some vinegar into it and it would come back. It would
Yeah.
dissolve again.
So I'm
So
asking about the
anyway,
paper because I'd like to dye some
the
paper,
paper,
but
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to
So then
go into that.
I boil it up for a couple of hours, just on like a simmer, bring it to the
Yep.
boil and then let it simmer for a couple of hours and
Hmm.
that extracts the tannins out of it. And you do need that mordant in there with it. And then I pour that in. I've got a big tray so I can do big sheets of paper
Oh, yep.
and I can pour that into the tray and immerse my paper into there. Um, and then you just have to keep sort of agitating it so that because it's, quite murky. I strain it through, chucks cloths, but it's not pure.
Is
It's
it?
full of
Yes. Yep.
bits.
It's still going to
So
have
you got
bits
to
in it.
keep
Yep.
got to keep moving it because you do get lots of marks. But there are some times when you do get a happy accident, and I actually put the paper in first, and then I put down some leaves that I'd pulled out of the pot, and I put them all down first, and then I poured the strange dye over it, and it kind of left all the marks of the leaves because
Oh,
they
wow.
resisted. Yeah, so that was really, really
That's
like that was another
interesting.
one of my happy accidents. So you just do things in different orders and things work out a bit
Yeah.
differently. So yeah, so I do that, or if I'm doing it with fabric, I strain it from one pot into the next and then put it back on to boil and put the fabric into there. But
Hmm.
to do fabric, you need to first scour your fabric, which is like washing it in washing soda on a high temperature. And that takes out any chemicals in the manufacturing process of the
Oh, yep.
paper,
Yep.
the fabric, and or if it's recycled um, material, which I often use recycled sheets and stuff because we use linen sheets, but they wear out, down at your feet. You get a hole
Yeah,
in
they're
them.
fine
And I
everywhere else
thought, well,
except
I'm
for the
not gonna,
bottom.
I don't want to throw out these expensive linen sheets, so I cut them up and dye them. And
That's the way to go.
yeah, so you got to do that and then mordant them. So with soy milk, you got to soak them in soy milk first and then dry them,
Oh, yeah.
and then you can put that into the dye pot, or you
Cool.
can bundle it up with the leaves to steam or dye in the dye pot.
So
So
do you
yeah,
find that you're living in different, like you Tasmania, because you grew up in Brisbane, didn't you?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you're born in Brisbane. You went
Born
to
in Brisbane, then
Tasmania,
went to Tasmania,
Tasmania,
then Airlie
then
Beach for a
Airlie
couple of years,
Beach, Rockhampton
then
area,
Central
Central
Queensland at the
Capricorn
beach. Yeah,
Coast.
so I was at Emu Park. Yeah.
Yeah, and then out to
But
Dolby.
Edy Park and worked at Rockhampton.
Do you
Yeah,
find
and
that
then out to
all those
Dolby.
different areas have really changed the
Completely
way,
influenced my
yeah,
work. Yeah,
and
yeah,
brought that influence into it so that you're actually adding that? I really
yeah.
enjoy the beach, the way you're doing the beach stuff.
Yeah, and I loved that. That's probably the favorite thing that I've ever done is doing the beach
And now you
works.
live nowhere
But
near the beach.
no, there's nowhere near the beach.
Oh, it's only 4 hours away.
And Mile Creek doesn't even run at like in Dolby. I'd have
Yeah,
to go up
yeah.
to the mountains to find a bit of running creek to be able to try and do the same sort of thing, but with
Well,
running water, running
you're
creek
not
water.
far
So
from
I'm not
Bunya.
that far.
Go to Bunya
Yeah,
Mountains,
yeah,
see what you can find up
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Because that'd be interesting too.
Yes.
What about the bunya nuts trees? That'd be something to
Yeah.
do. Hmm.
Yeah,
But
yeah. There's a
yeah,
lot of
because I
people, a lot of artists have done a lot of work on the bunya trees because of the dieback. So it's like an awareness project that they've been working on about the dieback with the bunyas. So
oh, okay.
yeah,
Know
so I
that,
don't
but
really know much
yeah.
about it, but I know that there's a lot of artists who do work on that.
But there's
So,
not a lot of artists that do what you do.
oh, a few.
Yeah, but I mean, I that's why I'm asking you. I
Probably in
don't
the
know that.
combination, probably in the combinations, because I don't just do this or just do that. I sort of bring them
Yeah,
all
you're
together.
eclectic in
So
your area of printmaking,
yeah, yeah.
and you.
And then like one of the other things I've even done is I've actually got public artwork up at Mount Mount Archer in Rockhampton on the Newham circuit. So they were doing a big boardwalk up in the lookout area.
Yeah.
And then the architect designed a few seats to go in there and then left spaces for artwork to be built into it,
Oh, cool.
but without any specific brief or anything. And so um, what I did was I used my graphic design skills to convert imagery of that landscape over three different pieces. So one was like close up of when on a xanthoria, the grass trees,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
there's all those like diamond patterns all down the
yeah,
stems.
yeah.
Yeah, so I sort of converted that on the computer, but to my lino print style. And then that was acid etched into stainless steel. So that was one of the panels, was that. And another was I actually cut the shape of the Fitzroy River
Mm.
out of stainless steel, and that went along the back of the timber seat. And then I can't remember what was on the ground of that one. So there was like a little strip on the bottom. That might have been the grass trees again, but then over on this other big bench seat around the corner, it looked out over the volcanic plugs, so a bit like the Glasshouse Mountains, but Capricorn Coast version. So it's all the volcanic plugs sticking up out of the
Oh,
ground,
yep,
and so
yep.
I kind of made a landscape that included those again in my lino print style, but on the computer to be acid etched out of stainless steel, and that was all they were all built into the furniture. So
Wow. So
yeah, so
you've got
that was
artwork
combining
that's going
all
to
of
be
my
there forever. That's
yeah,
so
so that was
cool.
combining all of my skills because it was my urban design eye that can see how these things work
Yeah.
in a landscape setting, my technical skills as a graphic designer, and then my art skills.
So
So
it's you, yeah, your studio and your studio work has not just been in a four walls, but it's also in a computer as well, because you're
yes, yeah,
designing within
yeah,
that. So you're
yeah,
very versatile in what you're doing. So now you've just got to do
yeah,
drawing and painting. Have
yeah.
fun with that.
And so some of it, like these textile works, some of them I've actually taken photos of the fabric or the paper that I've got, and then I've digitally chopped it all up and
Yeah,
reassembled it on the screen until I get it to a point of, okay, yep, I like how that's looking. So I might not use a sketchbook, but my sketchbook is actually often in my computer.
yeah.
And I will, yeah, do using photographs, yeah, reassemble or make changes, change the lighting in them and whatever to get them to a point where
to
I can
what
either
you want to
carve them
see.
or I can cut up the fabric and stitch it all back together in a different order or yeah. So
Good. Really like that.
yeah.
Well,
So
thank you very
trusty
much.
land, trusty laptop.
You've given me so much to write about.
Yeah, probably
And
too much for what you've got about 700 words or something.
yeah, I'll
It's
turn
not
off the
much, is it?
recording.